Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Kee. We are live for another World Cup qualifier tonight. We've just watched England struggle past Andorra. Jesus, sweet Lord, that was an unbelievably poor game. Difficult to watch. Whether you're an England fan or an Andorra fan, I imagine, to be honest. Andorra goalkeeper was the man of the match, and that doesn't really say an awful lot about England because he pulled off a couple of really good saves, but England were dreadful. England were really, really dreadful. And now we are about to watch what I would consider it to be some really, really top football. Finland against the Netherlands. Or Dutch pool, as they are known in these here parts. You've got Ryan Gravenberch, Virgil van Dijk, Frimpong, Gakpo. All starting tonight. So we've got lots of Liverpool players in the lineup tonight. We'll go through the lineup shortly. It kicks off in around about 14 minutes. You can watch this game in a variety of places, but I'm going to be watching it on 365. You can watch it in a variety of places around the world, I'm sure. I don't know where you're going to be able to watch it. Depends on where you are, I guess. But yeah, you can watch it with me live on 365. It kicks off in about 14 minutes. Let's go through the lineups. And before we do, a big, big thank you, again, as always, to our sponsor on this channel, Match Bingo. Match Bingo are continuing to sponsor Premier League Dad as we grow, and they are supporting our growth. Thank you very much to them. If you want to check out Match Bingo, please do so. Go and scan the QR code, which will be live throughout tonight's live, and you can go and scan it, and you can go and get yourself a good boost on your first deposit. If you deposit £5, you get £10 free. 15 quid. Go and try it out. Match Bingo is absolutely brilliant. They've paid out over £200,000 in prize money to people all across the UK. Over 10,000 people, 10,000 players all over the UK, and growing really, really quickly. So yeah, they're fantastic, Match Bingo. If you've never played Match Bingo before and you do like a bet on the footy, I'm absolutely certain you'll like them. So yeah, give it a whirl. Please do go and give it a whirl. And thank you again to Match Bingo. Great guys at Match Bingo supporting the channel. Let's go through the lineup very, very quickly. The lineups are as follows for the Finns. For the Finns, this is what we've got. This is what we're up against. Finland have got in goal Hradecki. Lukas Hradecki of Leverkusen, 35 years old. Had a very good season for Leverkusen. Had a couple of good seasons for Leverkusen. And it's Alho at the back. Nikolai Alho of Asteras Tripolis. Robert Ivanov and Hoskonen at centre-back. And Jere Urunen at left-back. Peltola and Tenho in midfield. And then it's Ant-Man, Kairinen and Lod in midfield. I don't think that's actually the Ant-Man, but it is Ant-Man. It's not Paul Rudd, it's Ant-Man. Oliver Ant-Man, who plays for Go Ahead Eagles. And then up front for Finland, it's Joel Bojanpalo, who plays for Palermo. He was at Venezia, I think, for a big part of last season, but he is at Palermo. Got 9 goals in 15 games for Palermo as well. So decent end to the season for him. For the Netherlands, it is Mark Flekken in goal, formerly of Brentford. Mark Flekken, now of Leverkusen, will be taking over from his opposite number tonight, Lukas Hradecki. So it's Flekken in goal. At left back, it's Nathan Ake, Virgil van Dijk and Jean-Paul Van Hecke at centre-back, Denzel Dumfries at right-back, and then it's Frankie de Jong, Tijani Reinders, now of Manchester City, of course, and Ryan Gravenberch, who ended up winning the Young Player of the Year, the Premier League Young Player of the Year last year. On the left is Cody Gakpo, another top Liverpool player, and it's Memphis Depay at centre forward, and at right wing is Liverpool's new right back, Jeremy Frimpong. So we've got Frimpong, Gravenberch, Gakpo, Van Dijk, all in the team tonight. On the bench we have De Vrij, Geertrude, Hato, Kluivert, Lang, Marlon, Sherpen, Xavi Simons, Van der Ven, Weghorst. How is Wout Weghorst still getting into these teams? And Mats Wiefer. There's not really an awful lot of quality in the Finn substitutes bench. Jensen, Jiri, Kalman, Kamara, Niskanen, Pikarainen. Timu Pukki is, of course, still playing. He's back at HJK Helsinki. And then it's Sinisalo, Suhanen, Tikkanen and Valakari. Ronald Koeman, the Dutch manager. And yeah, we're just coming up to 10 minutes before kickoff. So let me know what your thoughts are on this one. I'll be watching it on 365. If any of you want to follow along with me, you can go and follow on 365, or you can follow on wherever. I don't know what other channels you can be able to get it on, but I'm sure you can get it on other places. I guess it depends where you are in the world, but you can get it on 365. Right, okay, there you go. Sorry, just setting up everything, so it's all good to go. Right, we're 9 minutes to kick off, sorry. Ethan, Frimpong is a right midfielder. No, he's not. He's not a right midfielder. Don't be silly. No, he's not a right midfielder. He's a very, very talented right back that has played a little bit further up the pitch. And that's the thing to remember. That is the thing to remember with Frimpong. He's played at right back in most of his career, actually. Most of his career, he has played right back. He's been at right back for the Netherlands. He's played right back for Celtic. He has played right back before for Leverkusen. It's just that Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso often used him a little bit further up the pitch. Which, hey, you know, whatever works for you. Ethan, look at how Xabi Alonso played him. And Xabi Alonso played him in a more advanced position, but that doesn't mean that he's not capable of playing in the right back position, which he's played for a big part of his career as well. He's played right back for Netherlands, played right back for Celtic, played right back for Leverkusen as well. So I don't think it's any different really. Right, what time are we on? Here we go. Just waiting for it to show up on 365. Oh my God. Right, the players are about to come out the tunnel now. We're very nearly there. Very, very nearly there. Just a quick heads up as well, by the way, I am still banned on TikTok. It's unlikely that's going to change anytime soon. Yeah, I'm banned on TikTok for a while, at least a week. Razine, how's it going? Is Timu Pukki still in the squad? Yes, he is. 35 years of age, and he is still in the squad. Yes, he is. He's on the bench. He plays for HJK Helsinki now, but he's 35 years young. Normal Guy, how's it going, Normal Guy? Good to see you, man. Paul, good to see you too. What are your thoughts on this one? What are you thinking? What are you up to? Saturday night, what are we doing? Lads and lasses, whoever's in the chat. Finley Matthews, why are you banned? Because TikTok was uber sensitive. That was basically it, Finley, that's all. I was having a very, very pleasant chat with a Manchester United fan that came into the live on TikTok, and he came in and he was laughing and joking. It was fine. Like we was having a back and forth. It was fine. And he said, "Oh, I hate Liverpool fans." And I laughed and I said, oh, I hate Man United fans as well. That's the way it's meant to be, isn't it? You hate us, we hate you. Liverpool fans hate Man United fans. Man United fans hate Liverpool fans. The world keeps spinning. It's fine. It's how it's meant to be. And then, bang! The live goes down. The shutters drop and I get literally a notification that just says, your live has been suspended. Your live access has been removed until the 13th of June for hate speech. I was like, what? I haven't done anything. I haven't said anything. Why have I been suspended for that? So yeah, I've been suspended. I've been suspended on TikTok for exactly that comment. That's literally the exchange and how it went. Ethan, right back or right wing back, but he can also play as a right winger. Exactly, yeah. He can play anywhere on the right, can't he? Razine, he was an underratedly good striker of Norwich. Yes, he was a very, very good one. Very good. Paul, game nights, always. As long as there's football on, I'll be watching it. Razine, did you swear on that live? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't tend to swear on the lives, do I? I mean, occasionally, but I usually self-edit myself, you know, if I'm saying like, oh, it'll be like that, sort of thing. You don't usually tend to get the full thing. Or go on off, sort of thing. I don't actually say it. So, yeah, I didn't do any of that. Like I said, it was actually quite a nice back and forth between a Manchester United fan and me, and we, I got banned as a result of it. So I even appealed it. And they rejected it within an hour. They just went, absolutely not. And you can't appeal to a person. It's a bot. It's a human thing. It's a AI computerized tool or whatever that TikTok used. So I appealed, didn't get it, and now I'm banned for a week, so I can't even go live on TikTok. Ethan, I was saying he's a right midfielder because that's where he was recently played. Yeah, but that's like saying Mikel Merino's a centre forward, Ethan. That doesn't make any sense, mate. Right, so this one's very near to kick off. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. Right, so coming up to there's not really many other games tonight, is there? There's Austria and Romania and Albania, Serbia. There's not really many other games tonight. That's literally it. There's not really any other games. Okay. So right, we're very, very near to kick off. I think that's it. I can't do any more with that. That's going to work fine. Sorry, it's just an absolute kerfuffle when you're watching it on 365 of trying to make sure that the scoreboard stays on and all of that sort of thing. But it's working. It's all good. It's all good. Finland going for a simple 4-2-3-1. Looks like the Netherlands are going for more of a 4-3-3. They've squared them up. Finley, are you live for both Nations League games tomorrow? Yes, mate. Yeah, we are. I need to do the thumbnails and then I need to schedule them tomorrow. But yes, I am live for both of them. Ethan, loving the banter. Paul, how old are you? I am 35. Paul, yeah, 35 years young. Nobody usually actually young says that, do they? But yeah, 35, mate. 35. Razine, see you tomorrow, mate. Very excited for the final. Another Yamal masterclass incoming. We'll be there on your stream no matter what. Cheers, Razine. Good to see you tomorrow, mate. Take it easy. Have a nice night. Paul, you're at the Netherlands game, Paul. Wow, okay. Where is it? Is it in Helsinki? Where is it? Where is the game? Yeah, Helsinki Olympic Stadium. There you go. There's Virgil van Dijk. There's the main man himself. Right, we're off and underway. Let's get the game going. Ethan, 35 is old. Cheers, Ethan. Very nice of you to say. We're only there for third place, mate. It'll be boring. Okay, but well, listen, I think either way it's going to be a good laugh. 35, sorry. Germany and France will be a good one. Germany and France will be a good game. But yeah, we'll be there for Spain, Portugal, of course. Absolutely. Really interesting to see the news about Florian Wirtz and Liverpool. Looks like that one's going to go ahead now after all. I've not seen any of the other footy news that's crept out today, so you'll have to bear with me. I've been out for most of today. Apparently, Chelsea are chasing Ekatike, which means that Nicholas Jackson might end up leaving the club. I wonder if some teams might be interested in taking a chance on him. Nicholas Jackson. Feels like there's quite a few clubs that go for Nicholas Jackson. What do you think? Apparently Luis Diaz has informed Liverpool that he wants to leave the club as well. That seems to be going on. Callum 0-3, Ederson, Netherlands. Sondra, Frimpong for Salah at right wing in December during AFCON. Possibly, Sondra. Yeah, that might make a bit of sense, mightn't it? Maybe we see Connor Bradley coming in at right back. Connor Bradley comes in at right back. Frimpong plays a little bit higher up. Possibly, yeah. I do think that Liverpool will sell Chiesa, and if we sell Chiesa, then I think there's a very, very good chance that potentially we go out and buy someone else for that right wing. I don't think he leaves it with just Frimpong, Bradley and Salah on the right-hand side. He'll want more. He'll want more players there. So yeah, I do think he probably ends up with another player out wide. Here's Denzel Dumfries coming forward. It's, again, all Netherlands so far. It's all them. Virgil van Dijk out to this left-hand side here for Cody Gakpo. Gakpo cuts inside. Hung up to the far post. Cleared away. Frimpong was there. Very nearly attacked it well. Callum Bradley at right back, agree. But yeah, I do. I think we'll see Conor Bradley get more games at right back than many people think. But I also don't think Frimpong does play higher up. It's madness to think that's what's going to happen, because that's Salah's position. So you don't pay 30 million for a player who's not going to play any football really. Especially when you've just sold your right back. Right, there you go. We're all set. Litigation, how's it going? Good to see you, mate. Normal guy, Netherlands 2-1. I've got Netherlands to win. I haven't got a scoreline in particular. Sondra, Frimpong and Bradley rotation. We hope for 60 games next season. Yeah, I think so too. We'll definitely go far. Obviously, Premier League's 38, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League. Champions League's what? Bare minimum, you're probably talking 10. Even if we only get one game out like we did this year. So you're probably talking 10, that's 48. You've got the League Cup. The Charity Shield, that's 49. League Cup, FA Cup. Maybe we go 3 or 4 back in them. But I guess we'll see. Right, Netherlands picking up the ball on the halfway line here. It's really, really good play that by Frimpong. Oh, that's a horrendous back pass. And I think Depay's in, and he is in, and it's 1-0. Memphis Depay, there you go. Horrendous from Finland. It was a back pass. They really, really needn't have done that. And it's 1-0 to the Netherlands. There you go, Memphis Depay pouncing on a back pass. Good play by Frimpong on the right-hand side. It got knocked in, and it was just a really, really poor defensive header. He tries to head it back to his keeper. He's got no business doing that at all. And Depay runs onto it, and a lovely little cushioned volley either side of Hradecki, the Leverkusen and Finnish goalkeeper. And there you go. The Dutch are 1-0 up. Ronald Koeman is very, very happy. Finland 0, Netherlands 1. Memphis Depay. There's another player who maybe thrived after leaving Manchester United. Excuse me. Thomas Tuchel has come out and said that he didn't like the attitude displayed by England during the performance today against Andorra. What do we make of that? Normal guy, you want updates on the Romania and Austria game? I mean, I'll give you updates as they come in on the other ones, to be honest. Austria, Romania is 0-0. Albania, Serbia is 0-0. But yeah, if you're watching those as well, yeah, keep us updated, man. Definitely, please do. Ethan, before you went live, I played the Fortnite Live event. Nice. I can't say I've ever played Fortnite. It's not really my thing, but whatever works for you, mate. Whatever works for you. Different strokes for different folks and all that. Here's Virgil van Dijk out wide to Ake. See, this is annoying because look how well Netherlands have started and they keep pushing for more. And this is how you would have thought that England would have done against Andorra. But I think, I can totally understand why Thomas Tuchel has mentioned attitude as a problem for England against Andorra.
He said that actually, here we go, this is the report. Harry Kane spurred woeful England's blushes as his second half strike sealed a lacklustre 1-0 win against Minnows Andorra in Saturday's World Cup qualifier in Barcelona. I'm not happy with the performance, says Thomas Tuchel. We completely lost the momentum and we couldn't get it back. We ended up in a place that was not good enough in terms of urgency. That's exactly the word that a lot of us were using in the chat while we were watching it, isn't it? A lot of us were using that word, urgency. No urgency. There's absolutely no intensity about this England side. We can just admit it that it's not what we expect from us. I was worried in the last 20 minutes because I didn't like the attitude that we ended the game with. No coincidence that Trent Alexander-Arnold came on during that last 20 minutes, is there? I didn't like the lack of urgency. It did not match the occasion. It is still a World Cup qualifier. It's not one that many will remember, and we had good spells, but we take the 3 points and we move on, says Harry Kane. We have a friendly on Thursday, and we can learn from that again. The friendly on Thursday is against Senegal, isn't it? England against Senegal. I'm not sure if I'm doing that one. I might do that one. Should we do that one? I might do that one. Maybe. Finley Matthews, Fortnite is so dead now. Normal guy, I'm watching the Romania game because I don't have the Netherlands game on my TV. Finley Matthews, you can see the difference in England when Rice doesn't play. I agree, yeah. Declan Rice is sad to say, but it just feels like Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think, is the best right-back in the world. I don't like him, but I think he is the best right-back in the world. But he doesn't play in the system for England that suits him, and therefore he's not the best right-back in the world when he plays for England. In fact, he so rarely produces any quality of note for England. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think Real Madrid's not going to be the success that we all hope it, well, many hope it will be for him. I don't think it is going to be a success for him. Because I don't know if Madrid are going to build their team around him in the way that Liverpool have done and afford him so much slack, let's say. So I'm a little bit concerned about England going into the World Cup next year because you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, undoubtedly a quality player, but I don't think he's world-class when he plays for England. I think it's probably fair to say that Declan Rice is maybe England's only world-class. Oh, it's 2. Is it 2? Oh, has it gone out? It's gone out for a corner. Is it Frimpong, that? Great save by Hradecki. I think that was Frimpong at the far post. It was Cody Gakpo. One Liverpool teammate to another, and it is Frimpong at the far post. What a header. Low down, near post. And it's a wonderful, wonderful save from Hradecki, his old teammate of Bayer Leverkusen, of course. Frimpong, saved by Hradecki. It's gone behind. It's going to be a corner to the Netherlands. Just really frustrating. Really frustrating from an England perspective. I think Declan Rice is maybe the only world-class player that England have playing for England. Harry Kane, maybe 2, actually. Rice and Kane. After that, Cole Palmer doesn't turn up. Bukayo Saka, I think, does turn up. Maybe not enough. Foden, probably the same. Bellingham, I don't rate Bellingham all that highly, if I'm honest. I think he looks a better player than he actually is. Sandra, Curtis Jones played good at right back. Yeah, Curtis did have a good game. He did have a good game, considering he was played massively out of position. But again, that's another frustration. Like, why is Jordan Henderson at 34 years of age starting over Curtis Jones? You would have imagined that would have been that Curtis should be in that position. I would have started Curtis Jones in there. I would have started Adam Wharton in there if he was available. Certainly not Jordan Henderson anyway. I think you've got it. Especially away at Andorra. Surely away at Andorra is like one of those games where you take a chance as a manager. Like, I would be saying to players who maybe don't play for me as often, go and you go and make your chance. Go and seal it. Go and take it. And he's not really done that. It feels like, if anything, you've come out to that game against Andorra and there's more question marks over the players, isn't there? Crazy. It's another corner here to the Netherlands. The Netherlands have started very, very well. They've scored one. They probably should have had another one. Frimpong has started quite well. Gakpo started very well. It's a corner here. Virgil van Dijk and Dumfries have come forward for it. Finley Matthews, Bellingham. Yeah, no, I don't think Bellingham's world class, mate. I don't think Bellingham's world class. He's far too often he doesn't turn up for me. Far too often. Great play there by Cody Gakpo down the left-hand side. Here's Nathan Ake. Is this Frimpong on the other side of the pitch here now? Well done, Frimpong. Stood up to the far post. Wonderful! Oh, who was that coming in at the far post? Who was that coming in on the other side? Dumfries. Oh, Frimpong and Dumfries had switched sides. Frimpong came from the right-hand side over to the left-hand side. Stood his full back up and just knocked it past him. Got to the byline. Lovely, lovely cross with his left foot. And his opposite number, Denzel Dumfries, coming in on the far side. On the right this time. Lovely header. And it just goes wide of the far post. But Frimpong started this game very, very well. I'm not being biased. And again, people talk about Frimpong not being able to play. He's always played at right wing. Well, he's just gone over to left wing there and started doing really, really well. He's played right back for much of his time at the Netherlands. The guy has played in multiple positions and done very, very well. But yeah, there you go, Sondra. Frimpong playing so good at both sides. Absolutely agree. Twisted Fate just said to my mate Time in the group chat that watching that England game was worse than watching United, and they all agreed and laughed. Substub, how's it going, Substub? Good to see you. Here we go, Netherlands coming forward. Gakpo, that's going to be a foul. That is going to be a foul, definitely. And it is a foul. Finley Matthews, who would you start in midfield for England in the World Cup if all midfielders are fit? I think there's time. There's time for him to confirm exactly who he wants to start in the World Cup. I think there needs to be a bit more competition. I'm a little bit frustrated, if I'm really honest, about the midfield position with England, because we've got a lot of talent in there. And I think games like today are really annoying because he started Jordan Henderson, Jude Bellingham, and who else started today? Who else did he start today? Cole Palmer, wasn't it? I honestly believe Cole Palmer is best from that right-hand side. I think you have to play Cole Palmer or Saka. There's no world where Saka and Palmer play together. It's one or the other. I think you have to have Saka or you have to have Palmer, and I personally would go with Palmer, and then have Saka coming off the bench, or start Saka and have Palmer coming off the bench. But you've got to play him on that right-hand side. You've got to go on that right-hand side. I don't think you can have Palmer as in the 10. So I would have a midfield three of, I think you have to have Rice in there, and then I like Adam Wharton. I really like Adam Wharton. I like Curtis Jones. I like Kobbie Mainoo as well. I think Kobbie Mainoo, if he gets his Man United form back, or if he leaves Man United, he goes somewhere else. Obviously, rumours about Chelsea. I think Kobbie Mainoo would be one you'd maybe like to have in there if he started getting his form back and his fitness back. Adam Wharton the same. I think if Adam Wharton stays fit, I think Rice and Wharton are two non-negotiables. So you'd probably have to have them in there. I think you'd probably have to have Bellingham, wouldn't you? So it'd probably be Rice, Wharton, Bellingham. Yeah, it'd be that. Rice, Wharton, Bellingham, and have Cole Palmer or Saka on the right, and on the left, probably Morgan Rogers or Anthony Gordon. I wouldn't have Madueke anywhere near that England squad. I'm sorry. Madueke's shocking. He's absolutely shocking. Finley Matthews, Henderson shouldn't be anywhere near the squad. Well, I think there's maybe a case that Henderson's had his time, but you've got to remember that he's 34. Yes, it's you want to look at younger players, but managers trust Henderson. Like we talked about this in the last one. Jurgen Klopp played Henderson. He's now playing at Ajax. He played under Southgate while he was at El Ettifaq. He played again now under Tuchel while he's at Ajax. He's not a bogus midfielder. Like, people give Henderson loads of grief. He's one of those midfielders who always seem to get stick. Even Liverpool fans. Jordan Henderson is the first captain to lift the Premier League trophy for Liverpool in like 30 odd years. And you'll still have our fans calling him like he was crap and all this. Absolute nonsense. Jordan Henderson wasn't just a great leader and a hard worker or anything like that. He's a properly top midfielder. He's a very, very good midfielder, Jordan Henderson. So I understand the argument that he shouldn't maybe be around the England squad, but evidently attitude's a problem, isn't it? Attitude is a problem in this England squad. So what do you do? What do you do? If attitude's a problem, you've got too many egos in there, what do you do? Do you get a player in who can help manage that? And, it worked for Liverpool. James Milner came in. James Milner was one of those players who helped set standards and raise bars, and I think that's what Jordan Henderson does. That's why managers trust him. Litigation Finland 85-1 now. Put a cheeky quid on. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, and Curtis Jones as well. I think Curtis Jones is better than maybe I'm giving him credit for. Have there been any other... I'll tell you who else I would have. I'll tell you who else should be in that midfield. Conor Gallagher. Every time I see Conor Gallagher for Atletico Madrid, he's a player. He's a player. Conor Gallagher's a good player. I like Morgan Gibbs-White as well. There's a lot of players in there, and when you look at them, maybe that's why you think, Henderson shouldn't be in there. So I understand that. But, yeah, Henderson is in there, I think, for standards and, ethics and his approach to training, his approach to games, his approach to conditioning, his leadership on and off the pitch. I think that's what he's in for. He's not necessarily in for how he plays. Finley Matthews, I'd like to see Trafford play on Tuesday against Senegal. Maybe he will, yeah. I think we will see a heavily rotated side against Senegal. Isn't it Thursday against Senegal? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Tuesday. Probably is Tuesday, actually. I don't know why. It said Thursday on Flash Scores. Normal guys, still 0-0 in the Romania game. Okay, let's keep an eye out for it. What does this mean in terms of the World Cup qualifiers, actually? So, Netherlands are currently, if they were to win, they'd go a point behind Finland. But Finland will have played 3 games. This is Netherlands' first game in Group G. Poland have won both of their games. This is Netherlands' first World Cup qualifier. What do we think to the news about Garnacho as well, by the way? We talked about this a little bit on the last stream. What do we think about the news that Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Garnacho is set to leave the club? It's been confirmed there's going to be a departure and a split between player and club. What do we think to that? Cody Gakpo swung to the far side. Yeah, I don't know. I think Frimpong's one of those players who... I don't know why I'm saying Frimpong, Garnacho. Gakpo. Oh, here we go. It's 2. That is 2. It's Denzel Dumfries. It's Gakpo who's created it, and it is 2. 2-0. What a goal that was. Cody Gakpo, again, causing absolute chaos. Cutting in from the left-hand side. Cuts in on his right foot. Floated ball in. It goes over everyone's head. It goes over Frimpong's head. And running in right behind. Is he onside? He's onside. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a wonderful ball in. And in the 6-yard box. It's right in that corridor of uncertainty where the keeper can't come out and claim it. But it's a lovely little floated cross from Cody Gakpo. And Denzel Dumfries runs in. And 4 yards out, honestly, he just volleys it straight into the roof of the net. Wonderful goal. And there you go. That should be that. That should be that. Finland 0, Netherlands 2, 25 minutes in, barely 25 minutes in. I think we're going to see some more goals in this one, folks. I think we're going to see some more goals. Yeah, Garnacho. Where do we think Garnacho goes? Really curious to see where he goes. And Chelsea have made an offer for Jamie Gittins as well, of Dortmund. They've made an offer to sign Jamie Gittins with the player keen on the move. The West London club are looking to strengthen in the winger position. The 20-year-old winger was a target in January and has remained high on a list of 8 or 9 attacking names. Okay. How much would you pay? How much you have to pay to get Jamie Gittins out of Dortmund at this moment in time? That feels like... I'm not sure if I like that. Don't think that's a smart move. Arsenal have signed Kepa for £5 million. And yeah, Thomas Frank still the leading contender for the Spurs job as well, no doubt. For Finley, who would you take to the World Cup? Maddison or Henderson if you have to take one? Probably for the same reason we talked about. If you had to take one, I would probably be more inclined to take Henderson than Maddison. I really like James Maddison. I really, really like James Maddison. But I've got to say, I think we've got enough. I think there's more. Let me say this. I think there is more James Maddisons in the England squad than there is Jordan Hendersons. Do you know what I mean? Like there's players who can pick the ball up and show quality outside the area, who have a little bit about them creatively, who can create something from nothing. I don't think there's too many professionals in there, evidently. There's not enough Jordan Hendersons. There's not enough who have that work ethic, that leadership, that experience. And that sometimes can be the difference between winning a tournament and not. So maybe that's what I would say about Jordan Henderson. I would quite like to see, if it was just a straight shot between Henderson and Maddison, I'd probably say take Henderson. But if I'm really honest, I wouldn't take either. Yeah, I wouldn't take either. Sondra, what a pass from Gakpo. Yeah, it was a great pass, wasn't it? Great assist. Normal guy, another save for Romania. Finley, Kepa, another keeper that won't play any minutes at Arsenal. He's still the most expensive goalkeeper in the world. It's mad that Arsenal are going to get him for £5 million. Feels like I think that's a bargain. I quite like him. Yeah, I quite like him. I do. I quite like him. I think he's not a bad keeper at all. I hope they do this and they get it right, and then they just take Van Dijk off and Gakpo and Gravenberch, because they can't be bothered with losing these players to injuries. Chelsea have submitted an initial bid of €35 million for Jamie Gittins. Man City have a 10% sell-on clause, so they'll get £3.5 million. Apparently, Manchester United are talking to Rafa Leao of AC Milan as well. Oh, wow. Rafa Leao. And Liverpool are monitoring Antonio Nusa of RB Leipzig, the Norwegian winger. Normal guy, Austria have 2 shots on target. Okay. Yeah, I think Austria are probably favourites in that one, aren't they? Everton are stepping up their interest in Tierno Barry and are reportedly willing to pay his £40 million release clause. That would be absolutely ridiculous, by the way. If they do sign Tierno Barry, I'll be gutted. Anyone who's watched this channel for long enough knows that whenever people ask me, you watch a lot of football, Key, who's your secret pick? Who's your top player who's coming through maybe other people wouldn't have noticed yet, or who's the player who... And every single time they've asked me that this season, I've always said Tierno Barry at Villarreal. Now, I'm not professing for one moment that this guy is like an undiscovered gem and I've stumbled upon him. But what I will say is, I think Everton would be getting a very, very good deal there. If they paid €40 million for Tierno Barry, I think they get a very, very good player. Very good player. Big lad as well. Very big lad. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Lassina Traore, if you remember. Big, tall centre forward, but he's got a lot of pace. Not the same as Traore in that sense. Then he, lots and lots of pace, and a really good finisher. But very similar to Traore, at least in terms of frame and stature. 6 foot was Traore 6'8" or 6'9". One of the biggest outfield players we've ever seen in the Premier League, wasn't he, Lassina Traore? And he played for Everton. So yeah, maybe another giant centre forward in Tierno Barry could be coming to the Premier League. It was a free kick for Finland there. It's floated over to the far post. It's too easy, really, for Mark Flecken to come out and claim that one. He sends it up the pitch very, very quickly, trying to release Cody Gakpo. Comes to Depay. It's a great play, that. So good to watch the Netherlands. Here's Frimpong. He's had a great night so far as well. It's going to be a corner. Corner to the Dutch. Finley, Arsenal love. Keepers that played for Bournemouth. Ramsdale, Neto, and now Kepa. Emiliano, why are you banned on TikTok? Because a Manchester United fan came into the chat yesterday. A very nice Manchester United fan. We were having a nice back and forth chat about football generally, and he said to me, "Oh, I hate Liverpool fans. I can't stand Liverpool fans." And I laughed because we were just having a normal conversation. We weren't like trolling or anything, or winding each other up. I just laughed and I said, "Oh, I know. We hate Man United fans. You hate Liverpool fans. We hate Man United fans. The world keeps on spinning. It's how it's meant to be, isn't it?" And then bang, everything down. Your live access has been removed until the 13th of June for hate speech. And I was like, whoa, that's not fair. That's really not fair. I appealed it, and they said, no, rejected straight away. So, appeal rejected. I have another 6 days in TikTok jail. I can't go on TikTok live. So I'm only on YouTube, and I'm only on Instagram. Well, I'm still on everywhere else. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitch. We're everywhere else. But mainly YouTube, as you say. YouTube's the place where where you get the best. But TikTok is only going to be live from the 13th of June, and I'm also going to have to be very, very careful. And the problem as well, the issue as well with TikTok is now, if anyone saw the other night, the other night we had nearly 2,000 people in on TikTok. We do really, really well on the TikTok lives. Get loads of people who watch us. But when you come back after a ban, you have like a 2-week shadow ban after that. It's about 14 days where you'll only get 10 to 12 people in your live. So basically what it means is that pretty much to the end of this month, TikTok's not even going to be worth being on. It's gonna be really, really quiet on TikTok to the end of this month. Which kind of screws the FIFA Club World Cup. But we'll still be on YouTube. Yeah, we'll still be on YouTube. I'm still going to be on YouTube every single day. It'll all be good. Save again for Romania on a free kick. Sandra, who's the fastest Liverpool player in the squad next season? The fastest Liverpool player in the squad? Ooh, I don't know. Who would be the fastest Liverpool player in the squad? I don't know, Yeah, I'm not sure. Finland, in down the right-hand side, they're unlucky. Finland very nearly getting in. It was Pojampalo again. Very, very good play by them down the right-hand side. And he got in behind Frimpong as well. It wasn't behind him. It was Ake. It wasn't Frimpong. It was Ake. He got in behind Ake, and who came over? Who came over to get rid of it? Big Virgil van Dijk. The fastest player in the Liverpool squad next season is Ibrahima Konate, by the way. Yeah, Ibrahima Konate he's the fastest player in the France squad. He's the fastest player in the France squad. Whether or not he's the fastest player in the Liverpool squad, I don't know. But he's certainly faster than Mbappe. He's faster than Mbappe, Konate. And I think, it'll be interesting to see, because they usually say that around the time pre-season finishes, don't they? About the time the pre-season finishes, they'll announce who was the fastest. So it might be Frimpong, it might be Konate, might be Gakpo. Gakpo's apparently one of the fastest as well now, so could be Frimpong. Who knows? Maybe even Wirtz. Florian Wirtz is rapid, isn't he? Finley Matthews, what do you think will happen with Bajcetic, Kumas, Doak and Dans this summer? I think Doak is going to Everton. That seems to be the rumour doing the rounds. So I'd imagine Doak goes to Everton. I think Dans, he's not really... He went out on loan, he got injured. I think he needs another loan. He needs another loan or a sale. There's not really a lot we can do for Dans. He isn't going to come back into the team. Same with Lewis Kumas. I think Lewis Kumas we probably sell. I think Lewis Kumas has gone out to Stoke. He's done very well at Stoke, and he's now playing for the Wales national side. It feels like Lewis Kumas is sort of in the position that Harry Wilson was when we sold him. And I think we will sell Lewis Kumas. I think we'll probably sell Lewis Kumas. We'll probably sell Ben Doak. I think Dan's could be sold, could be loaned again. Bajcetic, I would absolutely love to see Bajcetic to stay. But I think he probably goes. I think he probably gets sold as well. Normal guy, what a miss by Austria, but it got saved. Okay. Negotiations for Tino Livramento and Man City are currently complicated and on standby. Newcastle not reducing their asking price as they want to keep Livramento. Almost impossible to agree on terms in time for the Club World Cup. Yeah, so Livramento looks like he's going absolutely nowhere. Here's Nathan Ake. I'd love to see us go for Cole Palmer, you know. Not Cole Palmer. Morgan Rogers. It's because someone's just sent me a message about Cole Palmer as well. Apparently Man United are about to join the race for Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. What do we think of that? Man United set to join the race for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Free agent Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well, isn't he? Ball into the box from the Netherlands. Cleared away. It's one-way traffic. It's going to be one-way traffic. Oh, I don't like that. It's in AS Roma's new logo. Surely that's not true. That's not real. No, I don't believe that's right. Roma have decided to bring back their logo for their 98th birthday. Oh, no, I don't like that. Don't like that. Not a fan. Finley Matthews, you've seen Kirkes has left the Hungary camp for personal reasons. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And we've just signed the Hungarian goalkeeper as well, haven't we, from Puskás Academy, Armin Peksi. So we've got Peksi, who we've just signed. Kirkes obviously has left the Hungarian training camp. We've got Soboslai already. So yeah, Hungarian Reds, Dutch Reds. Maybe we'll get another German in to help Florian settle. I'm not sure who we'd want, to be honest, from Germany. I do, actually. I don't even know. That was a silly statement to make. Silly statement to make. I know who I want. If we were going to sign any German, my favourite German at this moment in time, Angelo Stiller. Honestly, the kid is unbelievable. Love watching Angelo Stiller. Top player. Excellent player. Stuttgart will do very, very well with him. Here's Nathan Ake down the left-hand side. Finland get it away. Finland can't get more than maybe 2 passes, 3 passes, and they're losing it. They're having to go long a lot of the time because the press from Holland is so good. Well, and just as I say that, what happens? Finland get it out. They beat the press, and they're actually starting to get forward now. Really, really smart play down the left-hand side here, up against Frimpong. Are we going to see Frimpong winning his 1v1s to shut these people up who say he can't defend? He's an awful defender, Frimpong. I mean, we've seen a lot from him as an attacking outfit tonight. Keep it crispy. What game are you watching after? No, mate. No games. This is the last game tonight. Yeah, no games after this one. So we've got this one, and then we're watching the UEFA Nations League games tomorrow. So tomorrow we have France against Germany and Spain against Portugal. That's going to be tomorrow night's game. So we've got that to look forward to on Sunday, but nothing else on this one after tonight. Cheers, sorry, thank you for the flag about the timer. There you go. We're back up to date. Finley, what do you think will happen with that Hungary keeper? Again, I think he probably goes out on loan, doesn't he? Yeah, I think he probably goes out on loan. We've got Alisson, we've got Mamadashvili, we've got Yaros, and now we've got Pexi. I think he probably comes in and goes back out on loan. Unless we sell Yaros. But a lot is expected of that Pexi. And he's played regularly for Puskás Academy in the Hungarian division. So, you know, he's not just a young keeper. Like, he's playing quite regularly. I can't see him coming in and just not really doing anything. I would imagine that we send him out on loan and go and try him out maybe at a championship club. I wonder if he goes to... We've got decent relationships with Stoke, and maybe he goes to Stoke on loan. Someone like that. Yeah, go and see if we can find a suitable place for him on loan in the championship. That might make a bit of sense. Normal guy, I'm about to turn off the Romania game to watch the USA men's v Turkey game. All right, okay. Is that USA v Turkey? Is that a friendly international, or is it under 20s, under 20, under 21s? Austria have just scored. Just as you've said that, Austria have just scored. You've turned it off. You've turned off the Romania game, and there's a goal. Normal guy. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. There you go. Gregoric has scored for Austria to put them 1-0 up against Romania in Vienna at the Ernst Happel Stadium. Albania and Serbia still 0-0 in Tirana at the Air Albania Stadium. Do you know what? Virgil van Dijk picks it up so often around the edge of the area there. You just want him to have a go from distance. Normal guy, friendly. Listen, mate, that's yeah. I've not done anything with friendly so far. Oh my god, honestly, I am literally sorry. I was rambling, and then what was I saying just 2 minutes ago? Virgil van Dijk, he picks the ball up in so many good positions, like 25, 30 yards out. You just want him to have a go from distance. As soon as I looked then, he picks the ball up 25, 30 yards out as a real shot from distance. And it smashed into, I don't know who it was, the Finland defender, right in the chest. Blocked it and it went away, but took the wind out of him, that. Definitely took the wind out of him. Netherlands have just took the foot off the gas a little bit now. 2-0 up, they're coasting. Finland, you know, they're not getting enough bodies forward here. There's five Dutch defenders and 2 Finnish players in the box. It's, you know, you're never ever going to get anything with that sort of a commitment forward, are you? They're just not getting enough bodies forward. Not enough bodies forward. It's going to be Finland 0 and Netherlands 2 at half time here. barring obviously a very, very late show. Finley Matthews, love Gravenberch, but he needs to work on his shooting. He doesn't really do any shooting, does he? Doesn't really take any shots, Gravenberch. I mean, he gets around the area a fair bit, but it doesn't feel like he ever needs, or he ever takes a shot on. I don't know if you agree. Yeah, to me, it just always feels like he's reluctant to shoot or hesitant to shoot. Virgil van Dijk knocking it around the back with Van Hecke. How old's Van Hecke at Brighton? He feels like he's maybe getting on a little bit now. I don't remember they signed him. He was kind of a young... He's been booked in this game. That's the only reason I'm asking. He's 24. He's 24. I thought he was more like 26. But he's been at Brighton now for 3 or 4 years, hasn't he? Yeah, I thought he might have been a bit older. But again, a very good signing. They paid £2 million for Jean-Paul Van Hecke, Brighton. And you get the feeling that he's exactly the sort of player that they could sell for 40, 50 million quid now, don't you? Playing regularly for the Netherlands alongside Virgil van Dijk, Van Hecke is exactly the sort of profile of player they could sell for a decent chunk of change. Normal guy, it's only a friendly. This is a test for us, for the US men's team, going Yildiz and Real Madrid's Arda Güler. Right, okay. Are they starting? Yildiz and Arda Güler. Finley, yeah, he doesn't take many shots, but when he does, they always get dragged wide. He's not really that sort of a player, is he? For Gravenberch, his approach is, box to box, energy, picking the ball up, carrying it forward, winning the ball back. That sort of a game. He's never ever going to be a player that knocks him in from distance, 30, 35 yards out. That's not really his game. We often do that with midfielders, don't we, in the Premier League? We often just pick apart what they're not very good at, try to make them complete midfielders, try to make them Steven Gerrard's, for example. Steven Gerrard, who just didn't have a weakness, who could do everything. You just don't see him, the one-offs. And that's why I think you need... Yeah, Gravenberch, great at what he does, and there's some things he's not good at. Right, it's half-time. It is Finland 0, Netherlands 2. Memphis Depay with the first goal. It was a really, really poor back pass from Finland. It was a header from about 35 yards out. He was trying to knock it back to his own keeper. A mad decision, really, from the defender to try and knock it back to Hradecky. And, Memphis Depay ran onto it, anticipated the back pass, ran onto it, and one-on-one with the keeper, just kind of half-volleyed it past him. 1-0, wonderful goal, wonderful start for Netherlands. After that, they pushed forward again. Frimpong very nearly made it 2-0. Frimpong's been very, very lively down the right-hand side and down the left-hand side, actually. He's been very, very lively, very energetic, both defensively and offensively. He gets down the left-hand side, puts a lovely cross in. Dumfries headed it just wide. Just before that, Gakpo had put a lovely floated cross over to the far post. Frimpong, great little header down. And Hradecky, who is the teammate of Frimpong at Leverkusen, kept it out with a great save, wonderful save. It probably would have been 3 or 4-0 if not for Lucas Hradecky in that first half. But Frimpong was very, very good, created a couple of chances, nearly scored one himself, and then just after the half-hour mark, I think, or just before the half-hour mark, Cody Gakpo floated in from the right-hand side, cut in from the right-hand side, gets his head up, floated cross, lovely floated cross, went over everyone's head, and it landed about in the 6-yard box, and Dumfries had just ran over everyone's shoulder, half volley, roof of the net, great goal, 4 yards out, if anything, for Dumfries, so it was impossible for Hradecky to get anything on that at all. Great save, great goal. Finlay Matthews, Albania, missed a penalty. Okay. Did they really? Oh yeah, so they have. Ray Manage, ex-Watford, ex-Inter, has missed a penalty for Albania against Serbia. I don't think there is anything else going on tonight, really, in terms of the European qualifiers. Yeah, there's not. There's not really any European qualifiers going on tonight. What else do we need to be talking about? What else do we need to be talking about tonight? What other transfers have been going on in the Premier League? What other things can we be chatting about predictions-wise for the new season, maybe? Let me know your thoughts in terms of who might stay up. Who might stay up this season? Who might go down this season? I think the main thing that people keep focusing on is that there's going to be the 3 teams that have come up, 3 teams are definitely going down. I don't believe that. I think at least one of those promoted teams are going to stay up. I think Leeds or Burnley. I think Sunderland will go down. I can't really make a case for Sunderland. I like Sunderland. I really like Sunderland, but I can't say for 1 second that I think they're going to actually stay up. I think that it's going to be very difficult for them to stay up. But Leeds and Burnley, I do think you can make a case for them too. You can make a case for them too. The real question is who would actually go down then if one of those did stay up. If one of those did stay up, which team do you think is likely to have a fall off in the Premier League? Who would you think? I still keep going back to Wolves and Everton. Wolves obviously losing Matheus Cunha. But Wolves, Everton have been circling the drain for many, many years, haven't they? So I know David Moyes came in and did very, very well towards the end of the season, but we know I don't think he's going to stay at Everton. I don't think David Moyes sees the season out at Everton. I think it's very, very likely that the fans get fed up with him and he ends up leaving the club and they go and get another manager. So I'm curious to see what everyone else thinks about next season's Premier League and what that likely looks like. Also, in terms of the race for maybe the Golden Boot. Obviously, lots of strikers being touted to come to the Premier League next season. Benjamin Sesko, one for Arsenal. Victor Gyökeres, potentially Man United. Liverpool maybe looking at Alvarez. Maybe Liverpool looking at Ekitike. Ekitike also being linked with Chelsea. Osimhen, another one who's been linked to the Premier League. Could any of those maybe challenge Erling Haaland, Mo Salah for the Golden Boot next season? Liverpool's still talking about Alexander Isak from Newcastle. That is still on the cards, apparently. That is still on the cards. So, yeah, if Alexander Isak comes to Liverpool, you'd have to say he's almost a shoo-in for top scorer next season. Finlay Matthews, first manager to be sacked next season. Now that is a very good question, isn't it? First manager to be sacked next season. I mean, do you know what? We did this. We did this the other day. We were talking about, which managers do we think actually could keep their job, right? And when you talk about the managers that could stay in a job, it becomes much easier to do than which managers are going to get sacked. I think Amorim. Do we think Amorim probably leaves his job before the end of the season? I do. I think Arteta is a strong chance. Maybe not for sure, but a strong chance. I think Moyes does. I think I think pretty much all of the promoted sides do. So you look at Farke, I think Regis Lebris. So Farke, Lebris, and Parker. Farke, Parker, and Lebris. For those three, I think. Could Guardiola leave maybe if the City charges start to catch up? Possibly. I think Iraola could be tempted by a big move away. I think Glasner could be tempted by a big move away, actually. I think there's a world. I'll tell you something now. In fact, I'm calling this, and I might even screenshot it. And capture it and share it on socials and whatever, as I've called it, right? Vincent Kompany gets sacked by Bayern Munich and Oliver Glasner is hired mid-season. You heard it here first. Iraola, Glasner, yeah, I think both of them go. Obviously, Thomas Frank, I think probably ends up at Spurs now. Is that fair to say? We think they probably, yeah. Arne Slot's going nowhere. I don't think Eddie Howe is going anywhere. I think Enzo Maresca will. Yeah, Maresca's probably one, actually. Maresca is almost certainly one. I don't think Nuno Santo goes anywhere. Nuno Santo's staying. Herzler's staying. Marco Silva. Lots of rumours about Marco Silva leaving. Do you think Marco Silva could leave? Yeah, apparently he's linked with the Juventus job. Graham Potter, they don't like Graham Potter at West Ham. They do not see Graham Potter staying at West Ham. Them West Ham fans already don't like him. So I think Graham Potter could be one of the first sacked, I'll call that. I'm going to call that. I actually think Graham Potter is one of the first sacked. Graham Potter, Lebris and Farke. One of them three. That's my shout for first manager to be sacked next season. Normal guy, I could see Wolves losing Cunha and Aït-Nouri. Well, those are done, mate. Those are done. Cunha's gone to Manchester. He's a Man United player now, and Aït-Nouri is a Manchester City player, effectively, isn't he? He just needs, I think, dotting the line. Finley, I can actually see that happening. Vincent sacked, Oliver in. Yeah, Vincent Kompany out, Oliver Glasner in. I'm telling you, I've got a good feeling about that. I hope not for Palace's sake. I like Palace, and I'd like to see him stay. But no, I do think, sadly, that Oliver Glasner probably does move on before the end of the season. Parker will be sacked after losing 9-0 to Liverpool again. No, I think he's learned his lesson. I think Parker's learned his lesson. He was like that, wasn't he, when he was at Bournemouth? I think a little bit more gung-ho than he needed to be. If you look at the way his team played at Bournemouth, it was a lot different. Whereas I think now, if you look at how he plays with Burnley, it's worlds apart. Burnley is so much more defensive, so much more resilient as well. I think he's learned his lesson. I think he's a different type of manager now. So, no, I don't think a 9-0 could happen again, really. At least I'm not sure that it could anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. What else can we chat about? To kill the time at half-time here? Because we're coming up to the second half anyway. Top scorers next season. First manager sacked. Surprise surprise package next season? What would we say? Sam Eric 69, Serbia versus Albania is more interesting. I mean, to be honest, mate, Finland, Netherlands has been all right. It's been really good. It's been basically the Frimpong and Gakpo show. Frimpong and Gakpo have been brilliant. Sandra, do you think Nunes will get sold this summer? Yeah, sadly. There's a lot of Liverpool transfer, in the nose and sources who are saying that no, he's going to stay. But I think it's quite obvious that Liverpool have decided he's going to leave. Darwin Núñez's frustration, by the way, has come from, and his agent, I think, has alluded to this in interviews back in Uruguay. He said that Darwin Núñez has had multiple good performances for Liverpool this season, and he's always been benched or dropped after it. And that's not always been the case with players like Diogo Jota and Cody Gakpo. They've started ahead of him at centre-forward. When they've had bad games, they've got back in the side. Whereas Darwin Núñez has scored and then been dropped the next game. And he's felt a little bit hard done by in that sense with Darwin Núñez. And I can understand that, I can appreciate that, but I think the other thing that everyone is now aware of is that Liverpool knew if they played Darwin Núñez, I think another 1 or 2 games towards the end of the season, if he got another start, we would have owed Benfica another £5 million in additional transfer fees from the initial transfer fee. So Arne Slot basically just went, right, yeah, we're not paying you that £5 million. If we've decided you're going to leave, then we're not playing you anymore. So there was, again, for like half the season, Darwin Núñez was like, I want to play, why aren't you playing me? And the club were effectively saying, well, because if we play you anymore, we've got to pay £5 million. And we've decided you're not going to be right, so, we're just going to let it ride out and not pay the extra £5 million. It means we ended up only paying 70 million for Darwin Núñez as opposed to what could have been around 80 million. So we paid 70 for him. I think we'll probably get about 70 back, 60 to 70 back, if he goes to Saudi or if he goes to Atletico Madrid. Quite a few places he could go. But I really do like Darwin Núñez, and I'm a little bit sad that he's leaving. He's a very, very likeable player. Very likeable player. Samir X69, Núñez is a great player overall. He is. He's one of them, isn't he? Like, he can do everything, Darwin Núñez. He's so quick. He's so strong. He's great in the air. He can score, flicks. He can score from 40 yards out. He can smash it in. He's a great finisher when he doesn't have to think about it. When he has time, he's crap. When he just does it instinctively, he's wonderful. And I think he's probably lacking a little bit of confidence. And I think he could go somewhere else and do like Diego Forlan did, another Uruguayan who flopped in the Premier League. Diego Forlan came in, he was crap at Man United, he came in for decent money, he left, he ended up going to Villarreal, and then Atletico Madrid, won the Pichichi Award twice, one of the best strikers in Europe, and I do think that could happen again with Darwin Núñez. He'll go somewhere else and do wonderfully well. I actually think, if I'm really honest, Arsenal fans would be ridiculous, and it would be stupid of them to not consider Darwin Núñez. Arsenal fans could actually give Liverpool fans a big, on your bike by signing Darwin Núñez. Because Liverpool, honestly, I would hate that. Because Liverpool fans know how good he is. He's a really hard-working player. He's very smart. He can finish. If he gets confidence and he's in the right team, Darwin Núñez would be a wonderful centre-forward for Arsenal. And I actually think he's a better value signing than Sesko or Gyökeres. I think he's better than Gyökeres. If you ask me now as a Liverpool fan, would you rather Gyökeres or Sesko or Darwin Núñez? I would keep Darwin Núñez. I seriously would keep him. 3-star Reds. On one hand, I feel sorry for Palace fans if they get expelled from the Europa League next week. On the other hand, rules are rules. If they do miss out on the Europa, do you think Glasner may go to Spurs? Well, the rumour doing the rounds is that Thomas Frank is going to Spurs, mate. That's the top and bottom of it. Thomas Frank is going to Spurs. Doesn't seem like there's any other clubs or any other managers seriously being talked about. Do I think Glasner could go to Spurs? Yeah, he possibly could. But I think Thomas Frank is the one that they want, and I think Thomas Frank is probably the right appointment. I'm curious to see what happens with Glasner, but yeah, I don't know if you heard a few minutes ago. We was talking about first the managers who might leave during the season, who might be the first sacked, and one of my predictions was that Bayern sack Vincent Kompany, and I think they go and get Oliver Glasner. Obviously, he's got experience over there in Germany. He's managed over there before, and I think if they sacked Vincent Kompany, Oliver Glasner would be very, very high on that, on their list. Sandra, who is your dream striker for Liverpool next season? I'd love Alvarez. Yeah, Alvarez is probably my dream striker. Alvarez or Isak. I love both of them. I kind of prefer Alvarez, to be honest, than Isak. But I like Isak too. Isak's a very good striker. But yeah, for me, Alvarez is... I do genuinely think Alvarez is maybe one of the best centre-forwards in the world. And I think he's fantastic. If not, he might even be the best all-round centre-forward in the world. Honestly, I know that's a mad thing to say, but he's so good. He's so good. I mean, look, again, prime example, Thierry Henry was asked who's your favourite centre-forward in the world right now, and he said Julian Alvarez. He's got everything. He's so clever. His numbers don't always stack up, and he's not a beast. He's not a physical specimen like Erling Haaland, for example. But Alvarez is smarter than Haaland. Alvarez adds more to a team than Erling Haaland. If Erling Haaland doesn't score, you don't really notice him. I think Julian Alvarez, you do. He's wonderful. So I'd love Julian Alvarez. That would be my favourite. 3-star Reds, Forest were rumoured to be in the hunt for Núñez a few weeks ago. No Champions League this season, though. Certainly not happening now. Would love to see Núñez on the banks of the Trent. Mate, you would love it. Do you know what I will say as well? He would go to... Whichever club he goes to, you'll love him. You'll love him. Like, he will be... Because he just lives for the badge. He's an icon for whichever team signs him. He's so cool. I love Darwin Núñez. He is frustrating, don't get me wrong. There's been times where he's missed a few sitters, but he's always in the right position to miss them. And that's one of the things they always say about good strikers, isn't it? Good strikers, they have to be in the right position to miss the chances. There's no such thing as a good striker that misses chances. But that would have been a good signing for Forest, yeah. Who would you go for as your centre-forward? Obviously, you've got this Brazilian lad coming in. Who would be your centre-forward of choice? Maybe a more mainstream signing, let's say. Who would be the signing you would go for? 3-star Reds. Ethan, have you have bought Armin Pesky? Yes, yeah, I've seen him. He's a very, very talented keeper from the Hungarian League. Only 20 years of age. Liverpool fan as well when he was a kid. So he only ever wanted Liverpool, but there were rumours that Real Madrid were after him. There were rumours that Barcelona wanted him. And Liverpool have won the race. Very, very well regarded keeper, 20 years of age, from Puskás Academy in the Hungarian First Division. Puskás Academy, I think did they win it last year? Did they win the Hungarian League? I can't remember. But he was playing regularly. He did very, very well out there. I can't say I've seen anything of him. I'm not going to profess that I've seen anything of him, but a very, very well-regarded centre-forward. Centre-forward, goalkeeper. So John was about to say, the Finland centre-forward's got a chance here. Yeah, Armin Pesky's not a centre-forward. 3-star Reds, Wissa at present. Yeah, you were close to signing Wissa, weren't you? There was certainly a negotiation there with Wissa. Feels a little bit different to Chris Wood, though. Would you not want someone who's a bit more of a target man? I think Wissa's a good signing, but I really do think that Forest need to You need something. I think you need a midfielder, and you probably need a centre forward. But I'm not sure Wissa is that centre forward, especially if you're losing Hudson-Odoi and maybe Elanga as well. Apparently Newcastle are bid for Elanga in the last couple of days. So the Netherlands are just knocking it around here. It's been a pretty tame start to the second half. It's walking pace, if I'm really honest, for most of this game now. Finland haven't really got the ball in the Netherlands half. That's going to be a foul and a free kick to the Netherlands on the edge of the area. Might be an opportunity for them to whip this ball in. Nathan Ake with a quick feet. I was stood next to him once at Southampton Airport. We went through security together, me and Nathan Ake. He was obviously flying wherever he was flying from. He was at Bournemouth at the time, but we were stood next to each other at security at Southampton Airport. True story. I don't have many claims to fame, but standing next to Nathan Ake while we put our respective bags through the conveyor belt, and he took his watch off and put it in a tray, and his watch was worth God knows how much. A lot of money. While I took my Apple Watch off and threw it in the tray. Callum, Chelsea signing Bino Gittins, yeah, 35 million euros as well. What do we make of that? 20 years of age, he's not played for England yet, really. 35 million euros, that feels a lot. Feels a lot. 3-star Reds in for him in January, offered 22 million for Wissa last week. Brentford looking at daft money though, around 50 or 60 million. I don't blame him though, you know. I really don't blame him. 50 or 60 million for a centre forward that scores as much as Wissa did last season. He was fantastic. He got 23 goals, mate. He got as much as Chris Wood got for you. He got as much as Chris Wood got for you. The difference obviously being that he's 5 years younger than Chris Wood. So I don't think they necessarily get 60 million for him, but I think it's probably reasonable that they ask for 35 or 40 for him. 35, 40 million for Wissa when he's in his peak as well is not a bad bit of business. And that's probably why, if I'm really honest, I actually think he ends up staying at Brentford. I'm hoping they'd just keep hold of Mbeumo. I really don't want him to get rid of Mbeumo. Oh, Netherlands. Oh, unlucky. Very nearly. Very, very nearly. 3-0. Lovely little run from the back from Jean-Paul Van Hecke. It was knocked through by Reinders, I think it was. Reinders actually got on the end of that one. It wasn't Van Hecke, sorry, it was De Vrij. De Vrij has come on at half-time for Van Hecke. I thought he looked a little bit different. Litigation, what Scottish grounds have you been to, Kay? Was you not here the other week when we were talking about this? I can't remember if did I tell you? I went on a tour, I guess, of the Scottish football grounds, if you can call it that. I went up to watch Liverpool against Aberdeen in pre-season. Must have been about 20-odd years ago. 20-something, 20, 21, 22 years ago, definitely. Liverpool away at Aberdeen at Pittodrie. And Aberdeen, as you know, up in Scotland is right up there. It's proper up the north end of Scotland. And when we did that game, me and my dad, I was only about maybe 10, 11 years old. We drove back down, and as we drove back down, Van Dijk's in here. Oh, unlucky. Went to Reinders, and Reinders just wide. As we came back down, we stopped off at a load of them. Absolutely loads of them. We did St Johnstone. We did Gretna. We did Dundee United, obviously, right next door to each other. We did Celtic and Rangers. We did... honestly, we did St Johnstone, Dundee. I can't remember. Again, it's a long, long time ago. Let me have a look. Aberdeen ground is still a shithole, to be honest. Well, my lasting memory of Aberdeen, of Pittodrie, is, well, two things. One, when we went, a firework shot across the pitch. or it was pre-season, and someone in the away end or in the home end, I don't know, but wherever we were sat in this end, in this stand, and on the other stand over the other side of the pitch, a firework went over the top of the players' heads and went into our stand. But it was like well over the other end of the pitch for me. There might still be news. There might still be a news article on it. Let me see if I can find it. If I search firework, Pittodrie, Liverpool. Let's just search that. Firework, Pittodrie, Liverpool. Yeah, no, it's not. There's nothing there about it. Oh well, there you go. But yeah, that did happen. That really, really did happen. I absolutely promise you there was a firework sent across the ground from one fan to another, and it went over the top of, I think it was Harry Kewell at the time, went over the top of Harry Kewell's head, and Harry Kewell was like that, looking like, what's going on? Netherlands are in here again. Chance. Must be. Good save from Hideki, and it's gone behind for a corner. Really, really smart save, that. Really, really smart save. Unlucky. Another corner. How many corners the Netherlands have had up to this point? Feels like loads. And an easy claim for Hideki there. Let me see if I can remember which other Scottish grounds we did. We definitely did Aberdeen because we went to the game there. Kilmarnock, I think we did Kilmarnock. I think we did Killy. We didn't do Ross County. Ross County's miles away. We definitely did St Johnstone. I think we did quite a few. I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. We covered off about maybe 30. There's about 30 Scottish grounds we went to. They were great. It was fantastic. Gretna's ground was mad. Gretna's club shop was just like a little shed. Sondre Frimpong should get that pass. Well, Van Dijk's doing brilliantly. Reinders has done brilliant. Every time I see Reinders, I think he's a Premier League player. I can't see any reason at all why the signing for City won't be a really good one. It'll be a great signing for City, that. Really, really good signing. 3-star Reds, talking of Aberdeen, can't wait to see if Adidas have virtually given them the same home shirt to his last few seasons. Both have been identical, even with 2 stars on the front. Well, Austria have scored 2-0. Austria 2, Romania 0. Another goal in that one. Sabitzer, Marcel Sabitzer, ex-Man United, of course. Bloody hell, about 30. Well done. It was one of them, mate. We just started because we were up in Aberdeen and we just kind of bounced all the way down. My dad did like a little map of where we could go and which ones we could tick off. And we did loads in the Scottish Premiership, loads in the Championship, and some of the even lower ones. But we went into Ibrox, we went into the reception at Ibrox, and it was, bearing in mind this was maybe in June or July. It would have been July, wouldn't it? Liverpool pre-season friendly at Aberdeen. Would have been July. And we went into the reception. My dad literally just went to the woman behind the desk. Listen, we've come in. We're up, from England. We've come up from England to watch Liverpool against Aberdeen. We're passing through. We just thought we'd see if there was a way we could maybe come and have a little look around the ground. We know there's no games on or anything. It's kind of pretty quiet. Just thought we'd see if there was any tours or anything we could jump on or anything like that. And the woman behind the desk said, "Oh no, there's nothing today, love. Everyone's finished or whatever." And literally, as she said that, this old fella with white hair comes walking down the stairs in the reception at Ibrox, and it's I forget his name. I don't know if it's Char. I can't remember his name. I'm not even going to pretend I know his name. But he's an old guy, and it transpired to be that this guy was the chairman of Rangers Football Club. Like, the Don, right? He came walking down the stairs and he was like, "What can I help you with, lads?" Obviously in an actual Scottish accent, not in a really crap one like I've just done. But he does that. And my dad says the same thing to him. And he says, "Oh, come with me." And follow him through. And we go through and he literally took us into the players' changing rooms. I had my picture took with all the players' changing rooms, like under the peg of, I think who was there at the time, Van Bronckhorst, Michael Moles, Claudio Caniggia. I had my picture took with Claudio Caniggia. He was there. Peter Lovenkrands was there as well. Saw Peter Lovenkrands. Yellow card for Tijani Reinders. Yeah, and then he was like, "Yeah, come this way," and we walked out. I had me photo took next to where the manager gives his interviews, in the tunnel, like where you get that little board. I had me photo took there, and then he chucked me a ball and literally said, "Go on, out you go," and we walked out the tunnel. Me and my dad walked out the tunnel at Ibrox and went out onto the pitch and had a little kickabout on the pitch. Best day ever, and for that reason, I've always kind of liked Celtic, but after that, I always got a bit of a soft spot for Rangers. So, yeah, that was quite cool. We welcome all at Ibrox. It's just so historic. Yeah, I was going to say, I loved that. That was great. As a young lad going up to Ibrox, that was a great day. And at Celtic, we did the same at Parkhead. We went over to Parkhead and they were like, "No," but John Hartson was walking out of the front of Parkhead, so I got my picture took with John Hartson. Not quite as good, but still swings and roundabouts and all that. Aberdeen's kits. Some cracking kits come out over the last couple of years, isn't there? Loads of good kits. What time are the Nations League games on tomorrow? I know there's one that's early. The third place playoff. Is that like a 2:00 kickoff? I think it's a 2:00 kickoff tomorrow, isn't it? And then an 8:00. Am I right? Yeah, there you go. 2:00. Germany and France is 2:00 tomorrow. That one's in Stuttgart. And then Portugal, Spain, the final is in Allianz in Munich. So, I'll be live at 12:30? 1? Let's do 1. We'll do 1:00. I'll do 1:00 tomorrow and then 7:00. So I'll be live at 1 and 7, an hour before kickoff each time. I still have to do the thumbnails. Right, Netherlands are in here. Chance. Another good block. It's gone behind. It's going to be a corner for the Dutch. Freaky deaky Dutch. I haven't watched that film in a really long time. Austin Powers Gold member. Oh, it's funny. Shut up. Finland 1, Netherlands 4. There's no way there's only been 5 corners in this game. There is absolutely no way there's been 5 corners in this game. That's like a proper Mandela effect. I said that 2 minutes ago, didn't I? How many corners has there been in this game? It feels like there's been about 15. 5. Has that ever happened to you? Finlay Matthews, have Liverpool got the same home kit for next season? No, we haven't got the same home kit for next season. We have got a completely different away kit, home kit, and third kit. It's all been leaked. If you go online, you can have a look. You can find it. It's basically Liverpool's sponsor currently, or kit manufacturer currently, is Nike. And we are moving to a new kit manufacturer, Adidas. But it only actually starts on the 1st of August. That contract with Adidas starts on the 1st of August, which means that Liverpool will be wearing last season's kits throughout our pre-season tour. All of our pre-season tour, we're still going to be wearing last season's kits, which, if I'm honest, is a marketing nightmare. Because if you're going out to China and Shanghai and all these, the different places where they've been to, where they're planning to go to for the pre-season tour, you would imagine that you would want as many of those people buying up the kits while you're there. And if they've already got the old kits, it's probably not going to be the biggest money spinner. But yeah, the kits have been leaked. 3-star Reds cannot wait for next season to start. Conference League, Europa League, and 4 points off Liverpool. Bring it on. Honestly, that game, you did very well in that game, at Anfield. You did very, very well in that game at Anfield. We were poor. And I remember my dad saying at the time, we could play till tomorrow night here and we're not going to score. We was just never, ever going to score. And that was as much a reflection on Forest as it was for Liverpool. Liverpool were crap. We were awful that day. We looked tired. We looked leggy. But you played, that was like the perfect away performance. Really, really good performance. Deserved the win. No complaints. I think you were a little bit lucky at the City ground, mind. I know you took the lead in that one, but Jota came on. Tsimikas came on. Corner, Jota, bang, and then a little bit lucky after that. We should have won it after that one. But, hey, 4 points is 4 points. You got it. You deserved them. We still won the league. Such is life. I think Forest being in the Conference League, how do you think that might affect you next season? Do you think it might have any bearing on the domestic league, the additional games, or do you think that might be? It could do, couldn't it? I mean, it could sort of have a. Given it's the Conference League, up to this point, it's the Conference League, isn't it? Unless Palace get thrown out of the Europa. But if it's the Conference League, I think it might actually have the opposite effect on Forest. I think it might make you even better because you'll play on a Thursday night, but you'll play teams that you'll be wiping the floor with, won't you? So you'll be coming back into the Premier League with like real confidence and real, like the same way Chelsea did. Chelsea were playing teams like sticking them 4 and 5 past them. And that's what you want to be doing. That's just going to give Forest confidence. I know it's extra games, it's legs, but if you get a big enough squad for it, I think you could do all right in that. As long as you're not picking up injuries and whatever, I think you could do really, really well. And obviously it'd be good to see Forest back in Europe. Finley Matthews, when does the Premier League fixtures come out for next season? Oh, thanks Finley, thank you for that, for the timer. The Premier League fixtures I think is June 17th. I could be wrong about that, but I think it is June 17th. Michael, why would Crystal Palace be thrown out of the Europa League? Crystal Palace might be thrown out of the Europa League, Michael, because the owners own teams or have at least large significant investments in teams in the Europa League and the Conference League. So, for example, John Textor, who is 43%, I think he owns of Crystal Palace. He doesn't have say in Crystal Palace, but he does own 43%. He has a significant majority as well in Lyon, Olympique Lyonnais in France. Lyon are qualified for the Europa League, same as Palace are, and UEFA do not allow two teams who have the same owner to operate in the same competition together for the sake of conflict of interest. So they just don't allow that to happen. So it means that potentially, unless John Textor is able to, one, convince UEFA that he doesn't have any actual say in the running of Crystal Palace, or two, sell his Crystal Palace shares or sell his Lyon shares, Crystal Palace would be removed from the Europa League. That would be and it would be Crystal Palace, not Lyon, because Lyon finished higher in the French league than Palace did. That's how UEFA do it, so it's fair. If a team does have to be displaced, it's the team that finished lower. So Palace would go out, and the alternative to that would be that they would go into the Conference League. However, I'm led to believe that the other owner of Crystal Palace, who shares Palace with John Textor, also has shares in Brøndby. the Danish club, and Brøndby are in the Europa Conference League. So it's the exact same thing again. Brøndby finished higher in the Danish league, therefore Palace would be thrown out. So yeah, there is ongoing meetings between UEFA and Crystal Palace to see if that can be reconciled in any way, but as it stands, it doesn't look like it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be Crystal Palace getting thrown out of European competition, which is very, very sad, isn't it? After the great FA Cup win, it's not going to lead to a great European run. Feels a little bit demoralising, even as not a Palace fan. But yeah, very, very grim. Very, very grim. And that seems to be the case. And what would happen if Palace are thrown out of the Europa League is that Forest's position, which would have been a Conference League position, that becomes a Europa League position. And the Conference League position could then end up going to, of all teams, Brighton. Of all teams, Brighton. So Palace's big rivals, it would be Brighton who get the Conference League position. Nottingham Forest's position in the Conference League would be upgraded to a Europa League position, and Brighton, who finished 8th, they're the next best team in the league, they would get the remaining Conference League place. So England, as a league, would still get the benefit of having all the same number of teams in, but instead of Palace, it would be Brighton who would get European football by default. Their big rivals getting European football by default. What a horrendous turnaround of events that is. 3-star Red still cannot believe Palace did not do the same as Marinakis and put his ownership into a blind trust, bearing in mind they were already in the FA Cup semi-final 4 days before the cut-off date to do that. They should have foreseen it, shouldn't they? They should have foreseen that. But allegedly, I don't know. It's very, very sad, very, very frustrating for Crystal Palace fans if indeed that is the case. It's a whole mess of a situation, isn't it? Litigation, Palace should be financially compensated by UEFA, but why? But UEFA have got UEFA's rules are clear as crystal. Like they've had them set out for a very, very long time, and the reason that they aren't in the competition is Palace's own fault. It's not anything to do with UEFA. UEFA can't be compensating a team when it's not their. UEFA haven't done anything wrong. Palace haven't complied with the rules. That's you can't have multi. In fact, you know what? UEFA are very, very clear on multi-club ownership. They're very, very clear on multi-club ownership that it can't conflict with European competitions. They've said if you want to own multiple clubs, you can own multiple clubs, no problem. As soon as there's a conflict of interest, it ain't happening. There's a layout. There's a very clear, documented process for what happens, and that's exactly what's happening here. Palace have got shared interests in Brøndby and Lyon via their owners, the result of which means Crystal Palace sadly won't make European football next season, if indeed that is what plays out. Very, very sad. Very, very, very sad. And hopefully it isn't exactly what happens, but it certainly looks like it's going to be. Finland have got a player down here at the back. It's still 2-0 to the Netherlands. There's not really been an awful lot going on in the second half, if I'm really, really honest with you. Not had too many big chances from either team. It's 2-0 to the Netherlands. It's 2-0 to Austria against Romania in Vienna. It's still 0-0 between Albania and Serbia in Tirana. Breuer has just come on there. Everton striker Armando Breuer has just come on. Or rather, Chelsea striker Armando Breuer. 3-star Reds reckon it won't be long before UEFA stop multi-club ownership full stop in the future. I think you could be right. Yeah, and to be honest, I think in reality that would be the smartest thing, wouldn't it? I think that's the best thing. You want our best against their best, your best against my best. Like that's how it should be. It shouldn't be this whole Chelsea buying off Strasbourg and Strasbourg going loan players here, there and every. Oh, it's just such a mess. It's so bad. And it just defeats the whole object of football, because what we'll end up with, in the end, if this all plays out, what we'll end up with, maybe not even in my lifetime, another 20 years maybe, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it ends up being, you'll probably end up with 2 or 3 absolute super clubs at the top who win everything. and they're all affiliated indirectly with one another. Really, it'll be like. Have you seen that chart where it's like all the choices of food brands you've got, and actually they all feed into the same like 4 or 5 companies, and it says the illusion of choice. Basically, the illusion of choice doesn't matter which brand you choose. You're basically always choosing the same 4 or 5 companies, and I think that's what we're going to end up seeing with football. Eventually, it'll just be like we're all pissing into the same pot, effectively, and it'll ruin any sort of competition, won't it? Because imagine a world where Red Bull have got Red Bull Salzburg versus Red Bull Leipzig in the Champions League final against each other. Why would they care? Like, great, whoever wins, no one's bothered. 3-star Reds, if they do, certainly will give our owner a decision to make. Yeah, exactly. And, Greek, Marinakis, big Olympiakos fan, isn't he? So I'd be surprised if it'd be heart over head, wouldn't it? Nottingham Forest probably the richer of the two in terms of ownership, but Olympiakos is his club, right? Could that make a difference, actually? Just thinking about that. If Forest were to get Europa League, what are Olympiakos in? Are Olympiakos in the Champions League? No, yeah, Olympiakos are in the Champions League. I thought they'd won it last season. Litigation, I preferred the football from the 70s. Yeah, most people do, don't they? Most people do. I can't say I prefer the 70s because I wasn't around in the 70s, but I certainly preferred my football Italia in the 90s, and I think I would have liked footy in the 80s as well. 80s and 90s is my era. I just about caught the tail end of the 80s. Oh, wonderful play there by Dumfries. Yeah, Olympiakos in the Champions League. That's good. That's really good. Excuse me. Right. Let's have a little look and see what else we've missed out on news-wise today. Liverpool are chasing Ousmane Diamand from Sporting Lisbon. £60 million allegedly is being quoted for him. Mark Goldbridge has just posted Chelsea moving for Gittins. You can't dismiss the amount of money they've spent over the last few years, but I do question the obsession with under-23s. Surely some experience is needed to take the next step. Obviously, I think what Chelsea are doing here is they're trying to use the old Moneyball method, but maybe at a greater scale than Brighton are. So where Brighton will sign Jean-Paul Van Heck for $2 million in the hope that they will end up getting 30-40 million back for him. It's maybe a little bit less risky. For Chelsea, they're going and getting Gittins for 35 in the hope that he becomes an 80, 90, 100 million pound player. And he's only 20 years of age, so you would imagine there's still time for him to develop into that, if indeed that is what he becomes. 3-star Reds was a lot younger in our heyday with Clough and Taylor. Watched us with 2 European Cups on TV, and now, years on, after many disappointments due to poor ownership, I can dream again next season. Love that. Love that. I watched the Mark Crossley story. He was on the overlap, but I've seen loads of his interviews over the years where he does his Clough impression and stuff. Honestly, some of the stories about Brian Clough, unbelievable. Top manager. João Pedro is being linked with a move away from Brighton, Man United and Newcastle looking at him. I'm not sure that's a good move for either him or them, to be honest. Tottenham are set to offer Brian Mbeumo around 130k a week, which is still 50% of what he would get at Manchester United. Yeah, that's not really a really good sell, that, is it? Thomas Frank is the one who's... Do you know what? I wonder if that's the delay. Ooh, I wonder if that's the delay. I wonder if Thomas Frank is saying to Brian Mbeumo, listen, if you hang on 5 minutes, don't go to United. Come with me to Tottenham. You'll come with a manager who really rates you, who knows how to get the best out of you, who he's already got a relationship with. I think Brian Mbeumo might end up at Tottenham now, you know. They've got Champions League football. Why wouldn't he go to Tottenham? And he's already in London with Brentford, isn't he? I mean, Brentford's just outside. What is it? Kind of West London way. But it's London. He can stay kind of London-centric. He doesn't have to... A lot of Londoners and people who've lived... I know he's not a Londoner, but you know what I mean. Londoners and people who've lived down south, they tend to worry about moving up north as if they're moving up to, like, the Shire in Lord of the Rings. As if we don't have, like, running water and roads and fire and wheels and things like that. So Brian Mbeumo might prefer a move to stay in London. I wonder. Yeah. Maybe. It's something. I think there could be something in that. Brian Mbeumo to Spurs. Oh, Netherlands again. Who was that who's missed it? Who was that? It was Frenkie de Jong again. He's got to do better. Really good play by Wout Weghorst. Lay off, and Frenkie de Jong, left-footed shot, low and just wide. Van der Ven came on for Ake, Weghorst came on for Depay, and Reinders went off for Justin Kluivert. Into the last 10 minutes here in Helsinki. If you're planning on sticking around with us tomorrow, if you haven't already, I'm just going to say it again. I don't self-promote as maybe as often as I should. But if you haven't already, please do click like on the video. Click like, click subscribe as well. And we're back tomorrow for more UEFA Nations League action. We're going to be doing the big game at 2 o'clock, the third place playoff, Germany against France. I fancy France in that one. I'm a Florian Wirtz super fan at the minute because of Liverpool signing him, but I think France take that one, so I'm going to be watching that one. Germany-France tomorrow. That's a 2 p.m. kickoff. We'll be live at 1. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'd love to get you to come. If you want to come and watch it with us, come and stick around for that one. Germany-France, 1 p.m. tomorrow, and then on 7 p.m, isn't it? 7 p.m. Xavi Simons is now about to come on for the Netherlands. He's coming on for, I think it's Cody Gakpo. Yeah, Cody Gakpo. And then tomorrow night, 7 o'clock start on the stream here for us. 8 o'clock kickoff. Portugal against Spain in the UEFA Euro Nations League final. One of those where I really think Spain win that. I can't see Portugal winning it. I'm sure we'd like to see I'm sure we'd like to see Portugal give it a good fight, but I can't see him beating Spain. Michael, money talks. If Man United offer him a greater pay packet, and Burmo might not go to Tottenham, even with Thomas Frank there. That is true, isn't it, Michael? Yeah, money does talk. Very much agreed on that one, but I think if Spurs can offer him a reasonable amount of cash with a manager, I mean, it's less risky for him, isn't it? It's less risky if he goes with a manager who knows him, trusts him, likes him, can get the best out of him, knows how to motivate him, knows in what system to play him. It's all risk, isn't it? It's all risk. If he goes to Man United, the risk for Brian Mbeumo is he goes to Man United and he ends up a lot like some of the other wonderful players we've seen end up at Man United and see their careers fall apart. So I think he would give a second thought to Spurs. And I think if Thomas Frank is going to Spurs, which you would imagine right now, he knows, doesn't he? He knows he's in negotiations with Spurs. I think Thomas Frank's probably had a word with Brian Mbeumo and said, listen, if you can, just hang on a minute. Just hang on a minute. And Spurs might even be able to negotiate a fee for Frank and Mbeumo from Brentford all in one. Maybe they can do it all together. 3-star Reds, a gaffer like Clough would never get away with half the stuff he said in modern day football. Imagine multi-million-pound players' reaction if they were told to run through stinging nettles in training. Yeah, no, I know. He was definitely of that era, wasn't he? I mean, you hear back to some of the stuff he said about again Justin Fashanu and things like that. He was a wonderful, wonderful manager, but definitely of that era, wasn't he? But yeah. Edward, hey, Prem Dad, good to see you, Edward. How you doing? Not seen you for a while, Edward. How you doing? France should have won that match v Spain. They got back, they got it back to 5-4 in the end. What a game that was. Edward, also Portugal beat Spain. Ronaldo wins the World Cup too and gets the Ballon d'Or and gets 1,000 goals. Also goes down as the greatest player ever. You think Portugal beat Spain and Ronaldo wins the next World Cup? I don't know about that. I think we're already seeing Ronaldo just show signs of not looking as human as he once did. You know, he was a really, really top player only a couple of seasons ago. He's still a very good player now, but you can see when the ball gets whipped into the box, he's half a yard behind what he would have been before. There was a couple of balls into the box the other day where, honestly, it was like he just didn't have the legs. His mind wanted him to get there, he just couldn't get there. And at 40 years of age or whatever he is, 40, you'd imagine that. That comes to all of us. The age comes to all of us. Edward, I honestly don't get why Spurs sacked Ange. No, nor I, mate. Nor I. Frustrating, really, but they made the decision. I think Daniel Levy's made a rod for his own back, but again, what can we do? Thomas Frank seems to be the next one to come in. I'm good, mate. How are you? Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. I'm very good, Edward. Yeah, really good. I got banned on TikTok, so a little bit frustrated, but I got banned on TikTok, so I'm a little bit annoyed, and we'll have to see what happens over the next week until I get my TikTok live access back. And until then, I'll still be on YouTube anyway. I'll still be on YouTube, still be on X and Twitch and Facebook and Instagram and all the other places, but not on TikTok. I'm into the last couple of minutes here in Helsinki. Teemu Pukki still hasn't got his tracksuit off. He's still on the bench. Surprised by that. Three-star Reds after today's match, England v Germany, the World Cup semi or final, will Tuchel play his best team? Wow. Yeah, I don't think Tuchel makes it to the World Cup if he keeps playing like that. I mean, I quite like that he called out the attitude after the game. I quite like that he said that the players' attitude stunk and there wasn't any urgency, and actually that's not good enough, and it's still a World Cup qualifier. You've got to do better. I am quite pleased that he's done that, because it needed that, didn't it? It really did need that. But yeah, I'm not sure if he does make it to the World Cup if his performances are as bad as that one today. Edward, oh God, that's no good. How did you get banned? Long story short, a Manchester United fan came into the chat and was being very, very nice, but made a comment that said, I can't stand Liverpool fans. And I laughed and said, oh, mate, yeah, it's fine. It's how it's meant to be, isn't it? You hate us. We hate you. United fans hate Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans hate United fans. The world keeps on spinning. It is what it is. That's what football rivalries are about. I said that, and literally, mate, immediately it went bang. Everything went down. The whole live just like, it immediately said, you've lost your live access. Live access has been revoked. You can't get back on live until the 13th of June, I think it is, 13th of June. So, yeah, 13th of June is the next time I can actually go live on TikTok. I tried to appeal the decision and they refused. They rejected it immediately for hate speech. Hate speech. So, yeah, I've been banned for hate speech on TikTok because I said that Liverpool fans hate Manchester United fans and Manchester United fans hate Liverpool fans, which I would have said was quite a jovial statement to make. But there you go. TikTok didn't like it. TikTok didn't like it, and I've been banned for a week as a result. And I've been given a strike as well, which means that the channel is basically knackered for like 2 or 3 weeks now. It means that for 3 weeks, like, I'll get my channel access back in a week, and then for 2 weeks after, it'll be limited to like 10, 11 people in the chat. We won't get the 2,000, 3,000 people in there. Litigation, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, you're going tomorrow. All right, no worries. See you tomorrow, Litigation. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be live at 1 p.m. for the Germany-France game, if you're coming back for that one, and then 7 o'clock for Spain and Portugal. I'll see you tomorrow night, mate. Take it easy. Edward, how's Frimpong been today? Frimpong's been exceptional. Yeah, he's been very, very good. Really good. Created a couple of big chances. Probably should have scored one as well. He headed it down, and it was a good save from Hradecki. But yeah, he's been really good, Frimpong, playing in that more advanced position. Michael, Albania are 0-0 at home to Serbia in England's group. Let's hope the score stays that way. 91 minutes played gives England a greater point advantage over both in the group. Yeah, absolutely. Edward, what if you get permanently banned? If you get permanently banned, I get permanently banned. There's not a lot I can do about it. I think I only need to get one more strike, actually, to get permanently banned on it. So what I'm probably going to do is when I do get access back, I've got a second account called Premier League Dad Live. So I'm probably going to ask everyone if they can to follow that and just try and get me a little backup account, a little double account. But ultimately, I'll always be live on YouTube. I'll always still be live on YouTube. TikTok is just overly sensitive, and I don't know why, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. Into the last minute here. The final minute of the game. Austria 2, Romania 1. Ali Beck scored in the 96th minute there. 3-star Red, see you tomorrow for the Classical Spain v Portugal game. Thanks for the great stream. No worries, 3-star Reds. Take it easy. Have a nice night, mate. Edward, that's fair, mate. Who scored for the Dutch? So Gakpo set up Dumfries for the second, and the first one was Depay, Memphis Depay. It was a back pass. It was one of them where the Finnish defender headed it back, and it was silly back pass, really. Depay ran onto it, tapped it in, round the keeper. Good goal. And the second one was a lovely ball in from Gakpo, and Dumfries smashed it in the top corner. Right, we're done. It's finished here. 2-0. Finland 0. Netherlands 2. I mean, the game was done in the first half. You can see that. The second half was a bit of a paper exercise, really. It was pretty poor. But yeah, really, really good performance from the Netherlands. They have started their World Cup qualifying campaign with a bang. Frimpong put a great performance in. It was good to see from a Liverpool fan's perspective. Obviously, Gakpo, Gravenberch, Van Dijk, all coming through the game unscathed as well. Yeah, really, really good performance from Dutch Pool. 2-0 away to Finland in Helsinki. Edward Depay's had a downfall of a career for a good player. He has, yeah. He has. Yeah, he's done well. Again, since leaving United. Another one of those players who've left United and done all right after leaving. But yes, okay, so I am live tomorrow again at 1 p.m. Hopefully you'll all be back. If you are, that'd be great. If you haven't yet, please do like, please do click subscribe. Please make sure you've clicked the like button on the YouTube video that you're on. And subscribe, of course. Yeah, of course, that's amazing. And I will see you all tomorrow, 1 p.m. for Germany-France, if you're coming for that one. If not, then 7 p.m. for Spain against Portugal. Have a nice night. Take care.